Good morning, everybody. I'm Theo, and I'm here today to talk about an ongoing problem in the world that many people do not think twice about. I'm here to talk about the number one pollinator in all of the world, the bees. Luckily, I'm joined by 4 bee experts who travel the world informing people on just how much we need bees. Cody White, Kevin Jarvis, Shakur Brown, and Jacob Isaia are all highly respected scientists, and we are very lucky to have them on the show today.
Thank you for having us, Theo. We're all very excited to be here.
Awesome. Let's get started. So just how important are bees to our ecosystem, and why do you guys devote your life and your time to these insects?
Well, Theo, bees pollinate 1/6 of the flower plants around the world and 60 different types of plants in all. We devote our lives to this topic because we truly believe that if we people don't start putting an effort to save the bees, then we will see a drastic change around the world.
Wow, that's amazing. I had no idea that bees dominated pollination like that.
It really is. Not to mention, bees are unbelievably important within the food web. What many people do not know is that bees pollinate foods eaten by other animals and birds. Berries and seeds, their primary food source is, and without bees pollinating these plants, these animals would not survive.
So with all these animals dying, it would ultimately mean less food for humans, correct?
Yes, that's exactly correct. Like Shakur said, some animals would die off because of lack of food, leaving humans with limited options. Not to mention, a lot of the plants that bees pollinate produce fruits and vegetables that our bodies need in order to survive.
What would you guys recommend to humans in order to help save the bees?
In order for bees to truly be saved, farmers are going to play a key role. Farmers should leave habitat for bees in their fields, and they should also alternate their crops so that bees can have food all year round. Pesticides should also be monitored to ensure that they do not kill off bees. I also believe that research needs to be strengthened, and we as humans need to broaden our understanding and learn about the consequences.
So with the mention of farmers tampering with the bees' environment, what is the environment most suitable for bees to thrive in?
Well, Theo, most bees like to live in tropical climates and heavily forested areas. As we all know, most of the bee species pollinate flowering plants. With that information in mind, we can assume that bees will most likely prefer to live in gardens, woodlands, orchards, meadows, and other places where flowers are abundant. Bees, such as European honey bees, prefer to live in a temperate climate where the weather will fluctuate with the changing of seasons. They can work in the spring through fall and hibernate through the winter. African honeybees, however, cannot live in these conditions due to not experiencing winter in Africa. So, Theo, to bring it back to your question of the farmers that want to farm in the bee environment, I'd like to reiterate that they should find a way to coincide with the bees while at the same time not disrupt their living space.
And that's exactly why I brought you guys on the show today. I'm hoping that people will listen to this podcast and understand that bees are becoming extinct.
We're hoping that eventually this will be a well-known issue, and ultimately we will get to the point where bees are no longer in danger.
One thing you can't forget about is how bees affect our economy. Although there are far more serious problems with bees going extinct, it is worth mentioning.
Over the years, attempts have been made to quantify the contribution of bees to the food crop industry. In 2010, it was estimated that bees contribute roughly $15 billion to U.S. crops production alone. That is a staggering high number, which makes wonder what our economy would do without them. Not to mention, there are plenty of wild bees that contribute to production, so that number has probably been higher.
If more people knew this fact, I'm sure that they would be more inclined to protect bees. Money gets a lot of people's attention, so I'm sure we could use this as a selling point for why protecting bees is so important.
Don't forget, Theo, that is not only flowers and food crops that bees benefit. Many people do not know this, but bees also pollinate trees. Trees then support wildlife, stabilize soil structure, and are the lungs of the earth. Trees play a very important role in our ecosystem, and like many other plants and animals, they would not be here without bees.
And that's all the time we have today, folks. Thank you for tuning in to learn about the impact that humans are having on the bee population, what the consequences are for distributing this imbalance, and ways we can fix the problem. Thank you, and have a great day.